learn the basics of general aircraft controls. Here are the basics on how to climb and descend. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. Push the left analog stick down to raise the nose and climb. Push the left analog stick up to drop the nose and descend. Now take over the controls and follow the instructions. Nothing more to be taught. You will now learn the basics of general aircraft controls. Here are the basics on how to yaw the aircraft. Yawing moves the nose of the aircraft to the left or right. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. Press the L2 button to move to the left without rotating the aircraft. Press the R2 button to move to the right without rotating the aircraft. Use yaw to make fine adjustments to the aircraft's direction. Now take over the controls and follow the instructions. You will now learn the basics of general aircraft controls. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. Here are the basics on how to roll the aircraft. A roll rotates the aircraft without changing direction. Push the left analog stick left to roll left. Push the left analog stick right to roll right. Here are the basics on how to turn the aircraft. Turning is a basic method of changing the aircraft's direction. Push the left analog stick left to roll left and tilt the aircraft. Push the left analog stick down during the roll to turn left. Push the left analog stick right to roll right and tilt the aircraft. Push the left analog stick down during the roll to turn right. take over the controls and follow the instructions. Roll the aircraft 90 degrees left and push the left analog stick down to turn left. And push the left analog stick down to turn right. Excellent. There is nothing more to be taught. You will now learn how to apply basic controls to execute maneuvers. Here are the basics on how to perform a loop. A loop is done by raising the nose and flying vertically in a full circle. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. First, push the left analog stick down until the aircraft is upside down. Keep going until the aircraft returns to its original position. During a loop, speed up by pressing the R1 button to keep from stalling. You have now completed a full loop. Now take over the controls and follow the instructions. Push the left analog stick down to loop the aircraft. Excellent. There's nothing more to be taught.
Pull up.
You will now take over the controls and follow the instructions. Push the left analog stick down to loop the aircraft. You will now learn how to apply basic controls to execute maneuvers. Here are the basics on how to do the Immelman turn. An Immelman turn is a reverse turn using a combined climb and roll. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. First, raise the nose until the aircraft is upside down, as you would in a loop. Stop raising the nose after the aircraft is upside down. Now roll to the left or right to bring the aircraft to an upright position. You can use the Immelman turn to change direction while climbing. Now take over the controls and follow the instructions. Excellent. There is nothing more to be taught. You will now learn how to apply basic controls to execute maneuvers. Here are the basics on how to do a split S. Like the Immelman turn, the split S is a maneuver used to quickly turn the aircraft. The split S is an Immelman turn executed in reverse order. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. First, roll the aircraft 180 degrees until the aircraft is upside down. Push the left analog stick down to execute a downward half loop. Continue until the aircraft is in an upright position. You have now completed a split S. Now take over the controls and follow the instructions. Excellent. There is nothing more to be taught. As a review, you will now try to evade an enemy attack using a turn. Take evasive maneuvers whenever missile alert is displayed on screen. Turning the aircraft is one effective way of evading enemy attacks. Apply the various maneuvers you have learned to evade enemy attacks. Excellent. There's nothing more to be taught. You will now practice applications of the Immelman turn and the split S. Use the Immelman turn to pursue an enemy flying above you in the opposite direction. Use the target indicator to locate targets that are off-screen. To pursue an enemy flying below you in the opposite direction. Excellent. There's nothing more to be taught. You will now practice how to execute attacks. Here are the basics on how to attack using your missiles. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. A red missile seeker will appear when the target is within range. Press the circle button to fire when a missile lock is achieved. Missiles can't be guided unless missile lock is achieved. To switch between targets, press the triangle button. You can attack ground targets in the same manner. Take over the controls and follow the instructions. Use your missiles to defeat the enemies. Press the R1 button to accelerate and close in on an enemy until the missile seeker appears. Watch your speed so that you don't overshoot your target. Press the L1 button to slow down when necessary. The guidance system on the missiles is not fail-safe. Enemies can outmaneuver missiles. A missile is more likely to hit when fired from directly behind an enemy aircraft. Excellent. There is nothing more to be taught. You will now practice how to execute attacks. Here are the basics on how to attack using guns. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. When the target is in range, a circular reticle appears. Press the X button to fire guns. Hold down the X button for a continuous burst of fire. Center the target within the reticle for an accurate shot. Compared to missiles, guns have a shorter range and no guidance, but you have a lot of ammunition. Now, take over the controls and follow the instructions. Use your guns to defeat the enemy. Press the R1 button to accelerate and close in on an enemy until the reticle appears. Press the L1 button to slow down when necessary. Excellent. There's nothing more to be taught. You will now practice how to execute attacks. Here are the basics on how to attack ground targets using special weapons. Here are the basics on how to use unguided freefall bombs. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. Press the select button as needed to switch between weapons. A green pipper will indicate where the bomb will impact. Press the circle button to launch special weapons. Press the circle button to drop bombs. Several can be dropped at once. Center the target within the pipper for an accurate hit. Freefall bombs do not require a direct hit. Proximity will suffice. Drop them on clustered targets to take out multiple enemies at once. Take over the controls and follow the instructions. Center the target within the pipper and press the circle button to drop the bomb and destroy the enemy. Excellent. There's nothing more to be taught. You will now practice how to execute attacks. Here are the basics on how to attack air targets using special weapons. Here you will learn how to use the semi-active air-to-air missile. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. SAAM missiles have a longer range than normal missiles. Press the select button to switch from missiles to special weapons. Press the circle button to deploy special weapons. A steering circle will appear when using SAAM. The target must be kept within this circle after the SAAM is deployed. The SAAM will cease pursuit of the target if it escapes the steering circle. You will hear a beep as long as the SAAM is pursuing its target. Now take over the controls and follow the instructions. Use your SAAMs to defeat the enemy aircraft. Excellent. There's nothing more to be taught. Now we will practice giving orders to your wingmen. Your wingmen are the other pilots that make up your squadron. Corresponding buttons and analog stick icons will flash with each movement. The directional button is used to give orders to your wingmen. Press the directional button in any direction to display the wingman command window. There are a total of 4 orders that you can give to your wingmen. While the wingman command window is open, press the up, down, left, or right directional button to give an order. Press the up directional button to order your wingmen to attack. Your wingmen will focus their attacks on the enemies in front of you. This order is effective when you have strong enemies concentrated in front of you. Press the down directional button to give the cover order to your wingmen. Your wingmen will act to protect your aircraft. This order is effective when you have bogies behind you. Press the left directional button to give the disperse order to your wingmen. Your wingmen will move away from the formation to operate independently. This order is effective when enemy aircraft are spread out over a wide area. The attack, cover, and disperse orders cannot be given simultaneously. Press right on the directional button to order your wingmen to use their special weapon. Permission to use the special weapon can be turned on or off by repeatedly pressing the right directional button. This order can be used in conjunction with the attack, cover, and disperse orders. Now take over the controls and give an order to your wingmen by pressing a directional button. If your wingmen are off-screen, they can be located by a wingman locator. Press the directional button in any direction to display the wingman command window. Press the up directional button to order your wingmen to attack. Your wingmen will focus their attacks on the enemies in front of you. Press the directional button in any direction to display the wingman command window. Press the down directional button to give the cover order to your wingmen. Wingmen will attack enemy aircraft that are targeting you. Press the directional button in any direction to display the wingman command window. Press the left directional button to give the disperse order to your wingmen. Your wingmen will spread out and go away to engage enemy aircraft. Excellent. There is nothing more to be taught. We will now commence final training and evaluation. Earn as many points as you can within the time limit for each test. Let's begin. We will test your grasp of basic aircraft controls in this section. Points will be added each time you pass through the circle. Section. Defeat the enemy using the specified method of attack. Points will not be added for attacks other than by the specified method. Use your missiles to defeat the enemy. The time limit is 120 seconds. To defeat the enemy. The time limit is 120 seconds. The time limit is 100 seconds. This concludes the final test. Excellent. There is nothing more to be taught.
Bye.